More than a dozen inmates at the Boyle County Jail are in quarantine after a former inmate was diagnosed with hepatitis A just days after their release.
And now another case behind bars has been confirmed. LEX 18's Claire Crouch has the LEX 18 big story at 5:30.
When the Boyle County Health Department contacted the jail last Friday, notifying them of a recently released inmate testing positive for hepatitis A, they knew they needed to act fast.
What we had to do is we had to go back and look at records to see what cell he was in, what inmates he would have been in contact with.
Staff determined about 16 inmates were exposed to the individual with the virus. Those inmates will stay quarantined and be monitored for 14 days to see if they show any signs of the virus. They will stay in jail and will not be taken to court or allowed out for recreation time.
Basically, we just keep them isolated to themselves so they don't have any kind of contact with any of our staff or other inmates.
Meanwhile, another case of hepatitis A, one they believe is unrelated, has popped up in the jail.
This other inmate was brought in later, so I think he came in. So it's something that we're going to have to continue to watch.
Illnesses are something the jail is used to dealing with, but Wofford says this is the largest quarantine he's witnessed in 4 years at the detention center. All staff and all inmates at risk of exposure are being given the vaccine.
Talking to our jail inspectors, they've notified me that this is not just our facility, that it's across the state.
Covering the news in Boyle County, Claire Crouch, LEX 18 News.
Meanwhile, officials at the Big Sandy Regional Jail say an inmate there has been diagnosed with hepatitis A. They say the inmate showing the signs and symptoms was sent to a local ER last week, and doctors confirmed it 4 days later. The inmate was put on medical isolation and is under treatment. 4 more inmates who are at risk of catching it have been vaccinated.